Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. My name is Laura, if you're new to the channel, and I am going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. But no, most of the time the message goes to the person that needs to hear the message. That's normally how it works. Now, also know that these readings go deep. They have a therapy style to them, and they are more focused on the shadow aspects of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that need to be healed and integrated, and how they play out within our relationships and how they play out just within our everyday lives. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, is the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. And that's important when you're dealing with people that have shadows, spiritual wounds, blocks. That's people that create personas and wear masks because there's parts of themselves that they don't like, parts of themselves that they look at and they say it's defective, it's not working, it's broken. Understand there's no such thing as broken. We can perceive ourselves as broken. We can perceive ourselves as certain areas in our life aren't working. But there's many different realities that play it at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what has happened in your life, because what has happened in your life determines your core beliefs. And a lot of our core beliefs we're not even conscious of. A lot of our core beliefs we created from past experiences. So the way that we create the same types of negative karma with the same types of karmic experiences that have the same karmic theme, and the same karmic theme could be someone that always experiences betrayal or abandonment in relationships, someone that always gets in their own way and sabotages themselves. And they can sabotage themselves by having addiction. They can sabotage themselves by lying. They can sabotage themselves by, whatever the behavior is and mannerism is. Just understand, hurt people hurt people. So a lot of times, like I said, we're unconscious to how we're manifesting. So the universe brings us people, situations, and experiences to help us, awaken us to what we need to heal. Inevitably, the whole point of shadow healing is to help you evolve back into your God-given energy. And that's the energy of unconditional love. That's the energy of the universe. It's the energy of God, because God is the universe. It's ubiquitous. And his energy is unconditional love. So when we are in that level of consciousness of unconditional love, that could be compassion, forgiveness, it could be self-sacrificing, it could be like, I shouldn't say self-sacrificing because that makes it sound like really like almost on a negative tail, but it's almost like self-serve, like not self-serving, but someone that serves the community, someone that does what's best for everyone. So they are not jealous, they are not angry, they are not resentful. They are open to receiving unconditional love, and they can freely give unconditional love without the fear of getting hurt, the fear of being abandoned, the fear of being rejected, the fear of feeling inadequate, not good enough. Those lower energies that keep us bound to a consciousness that is self-sabotaging. So these readings will help you quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. Remember, you're the alchemist of your life, that your body and mind are self-healing organisms. All you need to do is, again, ground yourself and believe, and yes, do some shadow healing work. Because once you heal, you're able to then attract people that are more in alignment with who you are today, the goals that you have today, and not the traumas that you lived in your childhood, not those same types of experiences, those same types of energies. Same karmic theme again, whether that's rejected, abandoned, feeling unworthy, not good enough. Again, any emotion that's derived from fear. Two energies, love and fear. Love is God, fear is not. Fear is of the other. So when we think of the devil, it's not so much that there is a devil, it's a consciousness. And that binds you to pain and suffering and separation, separation from self, separation from each other, and separation from our creator. Okay. So now if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write that word of the video. The word of the video is fanatical, fanatical. And we're going to pull another card to go with it. Where did that deck go? Right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. Impatient. I feel like someone wants to talk to you, but they don't want to actually reach out to talk to you because they've gotten to the point where they realize that you're not coming back. They're getting impatient because they thought by now you would be coming back. They lied to themselves. They listened to bad advice. They lied to themselves for a long time. They wasted a lot of time. They procrastinated, and what they can feel now is not that you came closer to them. You actually move further away from them. So there's this realization that time has run out. So it's again, they're getting impatient of waiting for you. So they don't want to reach out and actually be humble themselves. That they're going to though, but there's a sense that they would rather create some sort of drama. They would rather create something like that would make you talk to them. This person is very over the top in the way that they deal with their relationships. They feel like they're not strong within themselves. So they really try to go over the top with explaining why, you know, they treated you the way that they do, or, acting the way that they do. This person is not comfortable in themselves, so they would never be comfortable in a relationship. So what you see is very sporadic and fanatical behavior, just because there's a sense of not feeling comfortable just in their own skin. So really, this person has an awareness that you're not coming back, but they're also not really knowing how to get your attention to come back without actually having to humble themselves, without having to come in correct. There's a part of this person that thinks that you're acting a little fanatical, like over the top of what you perceive that they should do for you. So it's almost like they feel like if they can come in with your energy, that maybe that will win you over with them, because I feel like this person just played a lot of games, and I feel like the time that you wanted this person to come back was a long time ago. And there's a sense that there is a connection between you and them, that they like an ESP connection. Now, we're going to see reckless. This person, when they were with you, they didn't really give you the time. It's like, and it's because they're not comfortable in themselves. Like I said, they have to have this over the top energy. So they take dangerous risks. And part of their dangerous risks are they do drugs, they drink, they party a lot, they hang out with the wrong crowd, they, run around with a lot of different people. It's they're the type of person that wants to be perceived as here for a good time, not a long time. So that's their persona. So the time that they're here for that short time, they want to be remembered. So again, it's easy to wear a mask for a short time. It's not easy to wear the same mask for a long time. So I feel like when this person had the opportunity to be with you, like I said, they were chasing other things. They weren't giving you the time. And like I said, it's because they don't feel good with themselves. They're like almost like they live in their own world. And they're a rebel. They act like a rebel without a cause. Where the belief is that they need to be alone, that almost like they have abandonment issues. This is why, again, they act reckless. They act reckless because it's better than the persona of feeling weak, of feeling like nothing. Like we would feel like we were nothing or that our life didn't work. We might judge that our life is our experiences if we haven't created enough of ourselves, like found ourselves and found the things that keep our mind busy, the things that stir up our soul, the things that we're passionate about, to keep again our mind focused on something aside from, trying to fit in. This person feels like they're shut out of everything because they haven't found their place in the world. And they feel again like they're out of tune. So they've created this persona. So again, if you're going to ask for standards that this person perceives as fanatical, which is like, again, this over the top, like controlling, like, and that might be that you want to feel like you're with somebody that is an emperor is the best way that I can explain it, like a person that's ready to come into your life and really give you the time, equal give and take reciprocity, that's very mindful of your feelings. And again, when they make a mistake, they apologize for it. They're not so prideful. They're not so full of their ego. This person has all of that, the ego. And that's why they see you as being like, oh, well, like you might be controlling, but it's not. It's that it triggers this person when you hold standards to what you want. It brings out their feelings of inadequacy, which is why they then created this persona, which is reckless. Like better to look like James Dean, a rebel without a cause, or like, you know, Sandy from Greece, when she turns like a little bit more harder. Like it's better to have that persona because that persona is a little bit like, I don't care. Like, I don't need to have anyone. I don't need to fit in. And so what happens is that this person doesn't really know how to share their emotions. So they're not transparent. Again, they create this persona. And so there's someone that was brought up obviously feeling inadequate. And so they don't know how to share their feelings. They don't know how to be emotionally vulnerable. I feel like this person, somebody used their feelings and their emotions and their words against them. So it's almost like they feel inadequate because of that. And so again, they form this persona to, mask what they went through in their childhood and understand if it happened in their childhood where their father or mother turned around and every time they opened up their mouth, yelled at them for their opinion or yelled at them because of, what they wanted to do, where they were going, or they were taught to lie pretty much. And so there that behavior of being taught to lie because you're not emotionally, this person did not emotionally feel safe to be able to, you know, be able to be transparent. So they actually feel like there's something wrong with them. So they would rather create this persona to make you perceive that they're, reckless, mean, harder, tougher. They don't need love. and instead of again feeling inadequate. But understand it's because they don't want to be transparent. They don't, because there's a fear of abandonment. So they try to be perfect. This person actually holds on to a lot of shame. And that's the shame is really the issue. It's so really, it's not so much of what you do. Because you can say, I don't do anything. I just ask this person to hold to a standard, to treat me a certain way. But in the fact that you're asking them to treat you a certain way, there's expectation. And this expectation triggers this person to, to be a certain way. So they don't really know how to be. So either they're going to like be the martyr that gives up too much of their time, or they're going to expect you to be the martyr. Like the relationship is very imbalanced. I feel like this person, like has a tendency to give up too much of their energy in like helping like people more than helping themselves. And I feel like you can have the same energy depending on the environment. So believe it or not, you hold the same energy as this person. And that's empath energy. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you were brought up in abuse. It could mean that you just were inherited the trait of sensitivity. So you can feel what the other person feels, and that person feels what you feel. So again, and being raised with the same type of environment, in the same type of environment. The issue is that what you feel is that this person like hasn't done any healing, that you've done healing. This person hasn't done any healing. So this person like creates a lot of destruction in the wake. They tend to not their own business. The reason why is they'll tend to be all up in your business. And so again, part of them giving up too much of their energy is that it's like if you're a martyr because you don't hold an identity, it's better to seen as someone that's like giving, self-sacrificing, because then you look better than someone that again just has no identity. The problem is that you're dealing with a person that's not balanced. They're not healed in their own life. So they'll come into your life. And like I said, they don't tend to their own business. It's like what they do is they get involved too much in your business because they haven't created enough of their business. And also the fear of abandonment, that this person, the whole reason why this person creates the persona of who they are is because they have fear of abandonment. And then you feel like this person like tries to control you from every means. So you might be triggered to like get a lot of readings, to try and get a lot of advice. This person may be doing the same exact thing. And that happens when we're not strong within ourselves. We tend to like just want advice and but understand that being connected to a person that feels inadequate, that feels that they need to wear a mask, or they lose themselves in being a martyr, instead of creating their own self. What you know is eventually they're going to abandon being with you because no one can stay being a martyr forever. That's just avoiding your life, especially when the person is so invested in your life and then they're destroying your life. And they're destroying your life because it's not their life. They don't trust themselves in their own life. They feel inadequate. they are feel inadequate because they don't form emotional intimacy with anyone. They have major trust issues. So they only go surface deep and they withdraw when they have. So anything that you would ask this person, they would think that it was over the top. They would think that you were acting fanatical. So, of course, you not feeling safe in the connection, you would again look to get advice because you would never see any change because the person's a creature of habit, doesn't want to change. And when you ask them about it, they just play coy. Like, what do you mean? Like I don't really understand what you mean. I don't know what else you want me to do. I do care about you. I do have feelings for you. But what they're saying and what you're feeling are two different things. Like your intuition is telling you that this person is holding back. And what spirit is saying is that they're holding back not necessarily because of you. Yes, they get triggered by you because you will hold to a certain standard. You want your connection to look a certain way. What they want you to do is not really have expectations. That's not fair, especially for a person that wants to come in and get all into your business and then not take what your feelings and what means something to you into consideration because clearly you would want this person to build a transparent, like emotionally safe connection with you before they came into your business. This is why again they create trouble. Again, they're a troublemaker. They come in to the connection and they're not coming in real. They're coming in with the persona. That's what it is. It's a persona. And they're reckless and within their own energy. So you know they're going to be reckless with yours. So when you ask for standards, again, they're going to get triggered. And then they're going to accuse you of being fragile, like being overly sensitive, when really they're sensitive. They're using their sensitivity as a way to connect to you, but they know how you feel. That like what they're doing is like being like, again, I want to be with you, but I want to be with you in such an unstructured way that it doesn't really even feel like there's a commitment, that and then when you say something to them, they say that you're over the top, but it's because they feel inadequate. They feel like there's something wrong with them. So they need healing, you know. And the thing is, it's like this person, I feel like I feel like this person like has high highs and low lows, and I feel like they're drowning in just because they live very imbalanced. They they're drowning in their emotions, they're drowning in like just their life experiences, and their life experiences with you, is that they have a lot of feelings, but they're not transparent. They're not doing anything with the relationship. They're just kind of like wanted everything this one-sided. And so I feel like they expected you to drown in your emotions. You're not, but they are. Because what they're seeing is that you're not caving to this energy. You already know, like this person like is not giving me anything. And I feel like this person is actually like they're actually acting as if you hurt them emotionally, where really you're like, you know what? You hurt me emotionally, and I feel like they really did hurt you emotionally, but they don't want to take responsibility for like how they've treated you, the way that they are, is like because then they would have to admit on how inadequate they feel. That's what it would come down to. It's like they wouldn't be able to answer why they do what they do. But it's because they don't like who they are. and they don't like who they are because people abandon them at a very young age. And I say that only because a person that, creates a persona to make you perceive that they don't have feelings, that is, so like it's giving the persona that they're so strong that they don't need love, but then they're so fearful that they haven't created their own life, but they come into your life and they want to control your life and ruin your life. They don't come in thinking that they're going to ruin your life. It's just that they're coming from a place of fear and they're not coming from a balanced place. So being that they're not, it's like they don't they don't do what's best for everyone. They tend to do what's best for themselves. And so it'll be whatever you're creating, but then this person will take over. That's why I'm saying it's like they create a lot of problems. And then when you hold boundaries to this person and you tell them exactly how you feel, like I said, they don't take responsibility, they act coy. So, and you don't see any change. So of course that when you have feelings for somebody, but they're not changing, you're going to become more like wanting to know, asking for advice. And in that, never not really getting advice because the advice is the fact that you know that this person is not going to change. You also know that this person is displays exactly who they are, and that who they are is somebody that has a connection, but it will not let you be transparent, that will not let you feel emotionally safe because they'll always say that you're being fragile when you want to know like what's going on in the connection, when you want to build intimacy, when you have a problem, this person is not going to make you feel safe. And you don't want to be in a connection where you constantly have to go get readings to see whether or not the relationship is going to work out. Because right then and there, you know you already know. You know by how many readings that you have to listen to, by how many readings that you have to, you know, to listen to and to get advice. But meanwhile, you already know, but by the way that this person acts, they act like it's not really a big deal. And it's like, but it's a big deal to you. So again, you're going to be seen as acting fanatical. And you're not going to see any change, and you're not going to see any change because the person gets like their ego gets bigger because the fact of you being perceived as fanatical, then it's like you're getting emotional, is what this person is saying, and emotional needing, wanting to control them is really why you're getting emotional. So this person likes the fact of how much you want to control them because again, they don't have a very like strong self-esteem. However, they're going to also feel like you're trapping them. So you're not really going to be in a connection that makes you feel safe. When meanwhile, this person has abandonment issues. So they, because they have abandonment issues, they project a lot of their own insecurities onto you. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. As twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. Being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you. But if I'm not, I want you to love yourself. So you're getting a lot of twin flames connections. I can't fully be there for you as long as this other person is in my life. I know it's hard for you, but I have to go through this experience in order to heal it. So it's like, again, this person I feel like played a lot of games because they were connected to somebody else. And they were connected to somebody else that, I feel like is kind of keeping them in this low vibration and this low vibration of being like a martyr, someone that is like in that position. And that's why they've created the persona of being, a rebel without a cause. Someone that like is rather being seen as reckless, someone that's rather seen as like almost like a troublemaker, like a rebel, like I said. But the truth of the matter is that this person is detaching because they're drowning in their emotion, and they're drowning in their emotion because they're connected to a karmic that, they're realizing what's important in their life. So, this person like has withdrawn from you of this, because this karmic. But you show up in their dreams and it helps them to process buried memories. They do believe that they're walking home to you, but they're not sure where they are on the path, but they know that they're walking it. And I think it's because there's a realization that they're, don't really want to be with this karmic. I wanted to send you a message today, but I was afraid. So I feel like they've tried to send you messages like hundreds of times, but they always talk themselves out. So I believe that it's getting harder and harder for this person to really stay away from you. Um, it's because, you know, they don't really want to be with that karmic. No, that's how it started off, that they're impatient, and they're impatient because they're not getting anything on an emotional level from being with this person. It's like they're the person that's giving, they're the person that's sacrificing. So again, when you met this person, they would have had you in that martyr position where you were sacrificing. And that's what you know. This person is drowning because they were reckless in this connection. And they were reckless in this connection because again, they feel inadequate. And so because they feel inadequate, they hold on to a karmic. They hold on to a karmic. However, this person tried to keep you stuck, and they tried to keep you stuck instead of being honest, instead of being transparent. What they tried to do was they tried to make you feel as if they tried to like create like problems. They tried to make you feel as if there wasn't really a problem, when you could feel the whole time that there was a problem, because there's a very strong soul connection with this person. It's again, there's a twin flame connection. This person has the opportunity to step it up for this connection to be a twin flame connection. Again, we are coming into union 1111, twin flame cards, awakening. I feel our energy merging together as if it has a life of its own. We are becoming one again. So regardless of what you're seeing, what this person is saying is, I can still feel your energy. They're impatient. They know that you're not coming back. They know that, whatever they do, whatever they say, no matter what, if they're not really gonna get that much of a response from you, they have to be free and clear of that karmic. So they're figuring out a way to get rid of that karmic. They feel like they have to go through it. So I feel like they're connected to a karmic because of, of a contract, almost like they're in a karmic contract. So you might have to pay money off. Maybe again, if there was a house or a business or something, and now this person can't financially afford to move out on their own. That's specific, I realize, but there's some sort of karmic contract that makes this person still feel like they have to be connected to this karmic. And the problem is that, this is a very strong twin flame connection. It's supposed to be that. This person's supposed to be able to rise to that occasion. So they tell themselves, like, we're coming back into union because their feelings have not decreased since they're away from you. If anything, they've increased, even though they're with this karmic, like they can't help it. So that's why they say the energy has a mind of its own. So what we see here is a person that didn't give this connection anything because they were connected to someone else, or didn't give the connection what it deserved. And it was because of the fact that they're bound to someone else, that they have to live out a karmic contract. And that usually is they owe money, they have assets. There's a reason why, like, the person can't leave. I mean, because the karmic consequences would be worse if they left. So I think that this person expected you to come back into their life. You got impatient a long time ago with them because you wanted them to change a long time ago. They didn't. They stayed away. I think that they felt that this spiritual connection, this twin flame connection, that they could feel your energy. They just felt like it was just going to work out, that they didn't have to put any effort in because of the connection. And so now what they see is that they really haven't given the connection anything, and it would be easier to stay with the other person. However, I don't really feel like there's a sense that they don't want to, they're not happy being with the karmic and being like self-sacrificing martyr so that, the karmic lives okay. They're the ones that aren't happy. And I believe that on some level, they believe that they didn't deserve to be happy. See, I've been so grounded all my life, it's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I can't deny they exist. So their ego gets in the way. So logically, they do what, looks better on paper, what looks good, that they look good in their community, especially if they have children, that it's, again, they're keeping that facade instead of being in a connection with you, but it's bothering them because they're seeing synchronicities like your name and 1111 and working out what they mean. It's like the universe is involved. Remember, this is a twin flame connection. So this person, like, whether they know it or not, subconscious things are happening right now. I've never felt love like this before. The depth of it can be inspiring, but also overwhelming. And it's, again, because they know it's real, it's unconditional. That in spite of this person staying with this karmic, they know you still love them. They know that you would forgive them. They see themselves with you more than they see themselves with this karmic. It's like they might not be living out a karmic contract, but there is a realization that, they want this to be done already. I feel like they're impatient with this contract, and they have to realize that they're the person that's been keeping themselves in this karmic contract. And I believe that that's because the karmic makes them feel so. I'm struggling with codependency and I'm afraid to let go of my old coping mechanisms. And that's the karmic. Again, the codependency is this person they were reliant too much on. And this person, I believe, just kind of brainwashed them every day, pretty much telling them how much they need them, how much, who they are, maybe that they're not likable, that no one would want them. This person does not have a very high self-esteem, which is why they're codependent. And I also believe that they might drink too much or smoke a little bit too much weed, whatever they need to do, pop some pills to deal with their stress. And that's codependency too, that they don't feel whole. And which we said, again, remember, this person feels out of tune. They don't really feel like they have an identity, but everybody has an identity. It's just they don't want to be known as their trauma as their identity. It's like they would know the experiences that they lived, and they have had periods where things were okay in their life and maybe even good sometimes, but the majority of times was them like digging themselves out of, you know, their self-sabotaging behaviorism. So they become more codependent. And when I say self-sabotaging, they're reckless. They don't care. You said they had to create this persona that they're like a bad boy, like or a bad girl, instead of and then coming into somebody else's life and wanting to control their life more than create their own life creates a lot of negative karma. A lot of negative karma, not just for them, but the person that allowed them to do it. So in that, it keeps those people bound a lot of times. So again, the karmic contract is mainly caused because of the codependency. Please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. Like this person is afraid to do what they need to do, but they are healing. They can't unsee what they have seen. They haven't can't become unawakened to the fact of that the karmic is who the karmic is, and you are who you are. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards, I'm not even sure why I said them. So, again, this person is afraid to speak. They don't like to be transparent. They usually aren't transparent. They don't like to seem emotionally vulnerable either. But it's again, they can't help it that sometimes they just open up and share something. But it's something that you're not going to see consistently in the beginning. You're going to see again a lot that this person monitors a lot of what they're going to share. Now, you're going to think that is so that they don't build emotional intimacy, but they're afraid of emotional intimacy because they have abandonment issues. I'm going through a physical and emotional ascension symptoms. I need space to rest, but from a higher perception, I'm releasing old energy. So again, I feel like this person is like not happy in their connection with that karmic. They've gotten to a point where they're like, enough. Like I've given enough time, I've given enough energy, and this karmic has put in every single obstacle known to mankind to prevent them from moving forward, is what I see. And this person is like, I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours. In the 3D, I'm afraid I can lose myself in the relationship because that's what they did in this connection previously with this karmic. That's what happened. So they were connected to the karmic and they gave too much of their power up. So they really have feelings for you, but they're afraid again, like what I'm going to lose myself in the connection with you. And then who knows what you'll do to me? Who knows what the karma will be then? So it's like this person knows that they need to do work on themselves. It's like, but they're clearing that energy, that old stagnant energy of I'm not deserving of love. Maybe I'm not my wounds. Maybe I want a better life than the life that I'm actually living. I want to live real. I don't want to live in a facade. I'm tired of being bound to you. I want more for myself. That's what this person's like. There are messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully and trust what you hear. This person feels like the universe is guiding them back to you. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. So it's again, this person is figuring it out, but it's a slow process. And it's a slow process because they finally awakened to the fact that they were underneath this karmic spell. And this karmic spell is just a person that was living with them that, has a lot more feelings for them than they have for them. And every day being told, you're not good, no one's going to want you. Like, you shouldn't leave. You're a bad person if you leave your family. You're a bad person if you leave me, if they're not married. I gave up this, I moved here for you. Like a lot of guilt, a lot of shaming, a lot of manipulation, where your person martyred themselves out. And but they've gotten to a point where they're like, I'm tired of this. I don't want this. They're growing impatient of saying, when can it be my turn? When can I be happy? When is it going to be my life? Why do I have to give up my life for you? This connection doesn't work. It's like I have feelings for someone else. And believe me that you know that that karmic it has like it's like a little green monster right now is really angry because this person is like, I want to go back to like to you, wants to come back to you. And it's like this karmic is gonna put every obstacle in this place. And I feel like they're also the ones, they're also getting a reading. So I believe that like either everyone's getting these readings or one of you guys are getting a lot of readings. But there's almost a sense of this karmic doesn't know what to do because your person is coming back to you. They're like, I'm done. I'm done. Like we've I've waited long enough for, you know, I think that this karmic actually even might have told them, gave them bad advice and told them that you would come back to them or to wait. It's again to to have that persona. So I believe that this karmic made them believe that they needed to act a certain way or to be a certain way, which was to cut off their feelings and emotions, and they could stay connected to that karmic as long as they shut their emotions off. And but they can't shut their emotions off with you because this is a twin flame connection. So they really want to be with you. Spiritually, they know they should be with you. It's just they have to do with their healing. And part of that is to disconnect from this karmic person. But there's codependency. They're struggling with it still. And in that, that they know that it's wrong, but it makes them feel bad about themselves. It makes them feel inadequate. It makes them feel out of tune. It makes them feel all those lower energies that actually need to be cleared to again, and that's what's happening when they go through the ascension. They're really realizing that this karmic is keeping them bound to the lower states of consciousness, and that this twin flame connection is all about helping them to rise to a place of unconditional love that they can't help to be in love with you. They can't help it. It's like there's a real connection, and they because they feel like the universe is involved in this connection. So it's a very profound connection. So we're going to look and see why you connected with this person. We'll see also, I wanted to pull two from this deck. I don't know why. I don't want to see whether it will give us any more information. Contracts, again, that's what I said. They're involved in a karmic contract. And it's again where they've gotten to a point where it just doesn't feel good in their body. It just, they can feel it. They can feel it that it's just not. And I also feel like at one time, the karmic and this person did have your person they had a connection. They did. But it was bound together mainly with lust. And then what happened is that it became a trauma bond, which is a karmic contract, which kept this person bound to the lower states of consciousness, which is that they're not deserving of love, which is pretty much how they grew up. It would have to be in order for them to have, created this whole persona of who they want you to perceive that they are. It's better than feeling inadequate. It's better than feeling alone. And the subconscious mind would never let us say that we're dead or we're not that. We always have to, again, create the persona, and the persona is going to make us look better, safer, more secure. So the first inner child card out that we have for you, again, which are the karmic theme that played out within your childhood. And then you would see those same types of experiences play out within your relationships and other areas of your life. So again, the first card out is shame. resilience, innocence, sing, friendship, naive, isolation. And we're going to pull two from the Fearless deck. Which is Break the Silence and Leap of Faith. So I believe that, this is a soulmate twin flame connection. It's just that this person is about to step into that, into like almost like consider it like the emperor. They're almost ready there. As soon as they, break away from this karmic, they will come and offer you. But I believe that this person was in your life prior. And so if you would have been with this person beforehand, they would have been a karmic because again, they're connected to a karmic themselves. And them being in a low vibration and not being honest, the connection wouldn't have wound up going well. You would have wound up again in a place of shame. We also know that you're a twin flame connection. So I feel as if, this card sing tells me that you might be a speaker, you might be in the public eye somehow. And so bringing on shame would wind up again, obviously, ruining your reputation. I also feel like, again, your inner child cards are growing up in an environment where you're not allowed to make a mistake or where you made a mistake and now you're seen as bad. You're seen as not good. And so, again, needing to speak your truth, being able to set appropriate boundaries with this karmic, because again, they're twin flame now because of stepping into it, but at the time, needing to speak up, needing to set boundaries, needing to use your voice, because I feel like one of your karmic themes, as I said, that continued to play out was you giving your energy to people and then like being victimized for it, or again, victimized where you're playing shame, like as if you're bad, as if you did something wrong, where it's not that you did anything wrong, but too trusting, too innocent, too naive, where I feel like you were naive and innocent as obviously as a child, and that was used against you. It's again, you were made to feel bad. You were suppressed within your voice, and anything that you had to go through, you went through it by yourself, and had to go into isolation in order to heal yourself. It's like because there was no support. You had to be your own support because again, the actions of the people in your home, again, that could be a mother, a father, sister, brother, whoever was your caregiver, made it almost feel like that, again, you weren't worthy of that support. You weren't worthy of that love, that emotional support. And that's, again, that you were bad, shame. So really, you have the gift of resilience, meaning no matter what is going on, no matter what situation is going on, that you don't need anyone, that you're actually strong within yourself, that you got better discernment with finding fake friends, even though, like I said, those situations did happen to you. It's almost like you had to go through the experience of finding like your resilience. And resilience is in this connection. This connection isn't an easy connection. Twin flame connection is not. You will be required to be resilient because you're going to trigger each other. You're going to affect each other in ways that are transformative to help, but in doing so, it brings all the wounds to the surface. So understand part of those wounds were not really being able to be a child, not being able to be like naive and innocent. And so where spirit says, again, it's about you integrating your spiritual blocks. And you can do that with a leap of faith. Take bold steps, even if the path is not fully visible. Risks are rewarding. So the only types of risks that you're supposed to take with your twin flame, with the ones that you take, the ones that this person takes, are the ones where you're going after a dream, you're going after a goal. It's like, and you don't know how you're going to do it, but you put the energy out there the best way that you know how. And the leap of faith is that's what you're doing. It's like putting in 100% of the effort with not really knowing what can happen. And that when I say 100% of the effort, it also means the emotional connection that you have towards something to fully invest is how much you love something. And the spirit is saying it's like they'll pay off. They'll pay off. But it's all through like breaking the silence to find your voice, to express your actual feelings and to speak your truth with this person when they come back. It's like, because that's really what it is. It's like spirit saying it's like, it's in order to heal shame, it's for this person too. It's like they would need to like learn an equal give and take type of relationship. Equal give and take reciprocity shows trust, shows respect. So being able to speak what you need, it's like speak the truth of who you are, what makes you feel what you feel, all of it. Be as transparent and vulnerable, and that this person has to do the same is what I'm saying in them taking the leap of faith. Because when you're in a twin flame soulmate connection, there's a lot that you can look at and say, oh my God, this person triggers me. This person has a lot of, they're going to require me to change. They're going to require me to be different. And spiritual blocks make us be very rigid in our thoughts and make us perceive things from a very limited perception. And so spirit is saying it's like this is like that it's, even though it's a hard relationship and all that is true, you also know that there's a lot of unconditional love. There's a lot of passion. It's up to you. You can take the leap of faith, but spirit says take the leap of faith, because this is a twin flame connection that'll help you transmute that shame and transmute this person's shame of who they are. It's like feeling inadequate rather, and understand like if that happened in childhood, both your childhoods, of stealing your innocence, being perceived as naive, like just not knowing, where really spirit says it's, again, it doesn't need to be different. We go into a twin flame connection to learn the higher levels of consciousness. You're not getting someone that's 100% there. They become that person with you because you help them through the act of loving this person unconditionally. It means that you're going to teach them. And it's when they're coming to you, it means I'm ready to give you give and take reciprocity. I'm willing to try to be in this connection, to be the best version of myself. Doesn't mean that they're there yet. It means that you both help each other transmute those spiritual blocks. And the same one that you have is what this person has. Unfortunately, this person got themselves into a karmic contract because of it. And so that happens when you've lived that lesson so many times that you just don't learn. You're in a karmic loop. You get out of one relationship that's a karmic contract to get yourself into another relationship that's in a karmic contract, and it loops. And so it's up to them to get themselves out of it. They wouldn't get themselves out of it unless it was a profound connection, because that karmic does not want them out of this connection, doesn't want to be out of the connection. They don't want to be replaced. But so they keep them in a place of shame. It's starting to not feel good. They feel like it's not good in their body. They can't fake the funk. And the bottom line is they've never felt a connection like this before. They can't shake it. And because of it, they're going through ascension symptoms. There's realizing what they want. And they're realizing, I don't want to be a martyr for somebody, for somebody. It's like, I feel like I paid my dues. Like I should be free by now. They're getting very impatient. It's time. It's time. And this karmic is getting more and more anxious because they see that it doesn't matter what they do, that this person wants to leave. And I feel like so much time that this person has felt as if they've been captive, that they got to like really just figure out what they wanted. And what they want is you. They don't want to be with that connection anymore. So with that, we're going to pull one more card. And the card on the bottom we're going to pull, and it's unconditional love. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open my eyes and heart and discover the light and beauty in everything. I am aware that suffering can cause distress and hurt in people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So I believe again that you guys are twin flame, that you both would need to learn the lesson of forgiveness. I believe that this person being not that great in the beginning is going to require you to be able to forgive them, and this person to be able to forgive themselves, and to learn that that's what twin flame connections are, to learn all about unconditional love. But we're going to pull one more because that was the card on the bottom of the deck. We're going to pull one more, and that is action. Spirit saying, my divine action ignites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive force. I listen to my heart, my desire to manifest light, transform tests into growth, challenges into opportunity, and fear into love. And Spirit says, with your twin flame, that's what you're doing. It's like you're integrating and grounding the higher levels of consciousness with each other, because that was not taught to you both in childhood, which is why, relationships are difficult, and that you need to be able to forgive yourself and forgive the families that you come from. And most of all, like I said, forgive yourselves, but forgive each other and forgive the families that you come from. And I'm going to leave that there. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.